He's one of the greatest to step foot in the ring. Come on in, my friend. Here he is, Showtime Shawn Porter in the house. Golly, look at this guy. You know, the work that I had to do to get Shawn Porter on this program, I mean, golly. Toughest guy. What's that? You got to turn on. Okay, you got to turn on the mic. Here it is. You're trying to sabotage my show.
No. You're sabotaging your show. Where's my earpieces?
No, you don't need an earpiece. Why do you need an earpiece?
I didn't know it wasn't on.
You're just, oh, yeah, that's true. You're such a pro. You're such an absolute pro. Thank you for doing this, my man. I really appreciate it. It's great to have Showtime Shawn Porter here with us. Can I ask, what is it like for you to go from a Spence Crawford-like fight to a Jake Paul, Nathan Diaz-like fight in the span of a week?
Tell you what, if the energy, which it should be just about the same, it's kind of like being at the same event. Obviously, when you look at the level of the experience and the fight and things like that, no, it doesn't compare. But in terms of being in a T-Mobile arena, thousands of fans around the stadium screaming, Crawford screaming Spence, and then to come here and hear the exact same things for Paul and Diaz as well, I think the atmosphere is going to be a lot the same.
When you first heard about Jake Paul, this kid coming over from from the Disney show and YouTube and all that stuff, and trying his hand in boxing, were you interested in this, or did he have to win you over time?
I think for everyone, it's been an adjustment, even for his family. It's been an adjustment. This is what you were doing, and this is what you're going to do. And these are all of the intangibles that come with being a fighter, And I think that for a lot of the world, it's, what are you doing, For me, it was just like, I'm like really oblivious to social media because I don't do social media often. So I was oblivious. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And it was like, okay, this is cool. And then once people started to really make a fuss about it, I'm like, this is good for boxing. This is a no-brainer. How do you guys not get this? This guy's bringing millions of people to a sport that struggles to sell. Use it. Benefit from it. Adore it. Bring it.
Right.
And use it to your benefit. You know what I mean? So I've been one of the few, I think, out there from the boxing world that have said, practically from, I wouldn't say day one because I didn't understand it on day one, but definitely, by his third or fourth fight, I was saying, this is good for the sport. Let's continue to push this forward.
I know I'm just asking you on behalf of the boxing community, but do you feel as though he gets more respect now because he has stuck with it? And I think some people thought he might quit after his last loss, right?
I think he's practically always gotten respect from me because I understand people. And I understand that he is a competitor, that he loves athletics, and he's from Cleveland. You know what I mean? So I get him. And so for me, it was just like, turn it on, watch it, see what happens, and then turn it off and go about your way. This is what we do with sports. We're not the ones that hurt the next day. I get that he's still going to hurt. If Nate doesn't hit him one time, he's still going to hurt from the work that he's put in to get here, So I think overall, the boxing world started to kind of give respect after that fight with Tommy Fury. I think that people saw in the lead up to that fight how much work he was truly putting in and how dedicated he is to the sport. I think that that's what really started to resonate with people.
Why did he lose that fight?
Why did he use that fight?
Why did he lose that fight? What didn't he do right?
I honestly put the decision of that fight in the hands of the commission out there. I think that.
Do you think he won?
I did. I
really?
thought he won the fight.
Wow,
yeah.
You were there.
I thought he won the fight.
You were ringside, right?
The fight. I'm ringside. I thought he won the fight. And I just thought that overall, there has to you have to know what's in the ring on fight night, And if you understand that you got a fighter who has truly never fought at this level before, and then Tommy Fury, you got another fighter who is at practically the same level, you're gonna be ready for the roughhousing. Mm-hmm. Be ready for the wrestling and all those other antics. You just break it up and you let him fight. You break it up and you let him fight. And I just thought that the referee played a pivotal role. I think he took points from Paul, then he took points from Tommy, and it's just, to me, it was a mess. But from what I could remember, I thought that Paul really handled things very well along the way, and I thought that he won the fight.
Did you think that he was going to retire after that?
No, I didn't.
No, okay.
No, I didn't. I thought that he expected to have his hand raised, and once it wasn't raised, he's really quickly thinking, okay, I just effed up.
Yeah.
And how do I fix this? You know, and you don't fix it by retiring and moving on. You fix it by doing what he's doing now, getting in the ring with Nate Diaz.
And him coming back after a loss, to me, should end all the is he a fighter or not? Because I think a lot of people thought, all right, it won't?
No, it won't.
Okay.
It won't.
It will never end.
It won't. You know, you just, I don't know, maybe people haven't been fed the right way.
Right.
And the way you feed the boxing world, you say this kid is never going to be a world champion boxer at the elite level, but he's going to put on great performances. He's going to put on great events, and you guys need to still watch this, you know, and stop trying to say whether or not he's a fighter.
Right.
He's a fighter because he trains. He's a fighter because he has camp. He's a fighter because he has a boxing license. Hey, he's a fighter.
Yes. You step in the ring, you're a fighter. But why is it, in your opinion, like, I feel like the vast majority of the people here are MMA fans. I feel like more MMA media covers these fights than boxing media. I don't see a lot of the same people that were at the fight last weekend.
Yeah.
Why do you think he doesn't get that type of attention and it's almost treated more like an MMA event? I know he's fighting MMA fighters,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel like the boxing media covers him.
Well, I think there's more boxing media here than probably ever before.
Oh, really?
This
Okay,
one.
okay.
And again, could be because he fought Tommy and there's this respect there now, whatever the case may be. But I think it is just that. You can't come into the boxing world and then not fight boxers and consider yourself a boxer. And I think that is the other side that's really separating him from being considered a true boxer and just someone who gets in the boxing ring.
See, I think that's crazy. You know why? Because at 5-0, at 6-0, he's fighting tougher guys than most people fight at 5-0. The greatest of all time, right?
I don't agree.
What are you talking about? Tyron Woodley's a UFC champion. Anderson Silva, he's still tough.
Simply because, yeah, you're still tough, but where's your level of toughness now?
These are cage fighters.
Yeah, but
arguably tougher.
But these are cage fighters who are no longer hungry. These are cage fighters who have gone through their best years, and they have the ability to get back in the ring or in the octagon, and that's why they're doing it. These aren't guys who are hungry, sleeping on couches, and
hungrier than a guy who's 1-12, a guy that you're fighting at a club show, 1-12.
There's, come on now. I don't. But there's a lot of 1-12 guys who are not hungry.
Right.
There's a lot of 1-12 guys who are hungry. But what I'm saying is that there's some 1-12 guys that are more hungry than Nate Diaz, who has done it all. Once you've done it all, your level of hunger just simply changes. Psychologically, it is what it is. You can't control it.
So that's really interesting because I think all the pressure is on Diaz's shoulders tomorrow. And that's why I think he's super hungry. You know why? He can't go back to Stockton with an L on his record in his pro debut against Jake Paul, the Disney kid.
Hey, listen,
right?
All respect to this event, but what did he say on the stage? He said, no matter how this fight goes.
Right.
And that's all I need to say.
Did you not like that?
I did not like that.
What do you think he was like planting
I think it could have been planting. It could have been him showing his true confidence. But I think more than anything, it just kind of speaks to him, his inexperience in terms of promoting a fight. You know, promote a fight saying, hey, no matter what happens, this guy still sucks. No, if he kicked your ass, he kicked your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So a lot of, the boxing luminary, I've talked to a bunch of them at this point. Eddie Hearn was probably the most vocal where he was like, man, I saw that guy on the mitts. I saw Diaz on the mitts. Not looking good. He thinks that Jake is going to wipe the floor with him.
Well, guess what? And I've been in the ring with these kind of guys all my life.
Yeah.
The ones who are inexperienced are the ones that can give you a lot of trouble. And, when you take a look at Jake Paul going up against some of the best from the MMA world, these guys are good at what they do. But now they're getting in the boxing ring. They're told to keep their hands up, fight conventionally, and there's no kicking, there's no grappling, anything like that. And on top of that, I don't know what this guy's got. You know what I mean? So that has worked to his benefit. And this one right here could actually backfire on him.
And you're talking about Nate, right?
Yeah, well, I'm saying that it's worked to Jake's inexperience.
Right.
It's worked to his benefit because he's getting in the ring with people who are looking at him like, okay, do you even know what you're doing? Boom, and I get hit with the right hand, But in this fight right here, Nate Diaz now is the guy who can be sloppy, can make this an ugly fight, and
He will
that
talk
ugly
shit.
sloppiness.
He will
catch
get
up.
in his face.
Yeah.
He will frustrate him. He will throw a lot. Tyron Woodley didn't throw a lot. Anderson didn't throw a lot. Even Tommy didn't throw a lot.
Yeah.
I think Nate is going to throw everything at him.
That's the separation
yes.
right there. Yeah.
So I don't think that this is going to be a one-sided fight. I think a lot of people who are saying that don't know who he is, have
Yeah.
never seen him before.
I would say that this is the most I've truly looked at this fight beyond Jake Paul knocking out Nate Diaz. This
Yeah.
is the most I've looked at it. And I'm like, I'm over here like, wow, this could actually be a little more competitive than I thought.
Yes.
You know?
One other thing. Originally it was an 8-round fight. Then they extended it to 10. That favors Diaz.
It doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't.
Why?
And I heard these guys arguing earlier, and I was like, I'm not even gonna get into this. To fight in the octagon, 5-minute round,
Yeah.
your body, you only use certain energy levels. And that's a whole nother conversation. But just to give you a little bit from a scientific standpoint, in boxing, we mostly use the ATP system. That's fast, explode. In the octagon, they're using the anaerobic system, which is it's a system that is ready for the long haul. So when you got to get a ring and you're ready for the long haul, and all of a sudden you're told to go, your energy system speed up. And if you haven't worked that ATP, you're not gonna be ready for a 3-minute round. That's why we've seen these MMA guys fall to Jake Paul, because they're not used to that 3.
This is a guy who does. That's a great answer, and I understand where you're coming from, and it's great insight. This is a guy who does
much.
No, this is a guy who does triathlons for fun on a Sunday
heard that.
morning.
Is
Yes,
that real?
That is real.
Is that real?
Yes, him and his brother. They like to do triathlons.
Even
for
now,
fun.
even now.
Yes.
When was his last triathlon?
I mean, I didn't ask him, but
I'm sorry.
this is known. This is part of their.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
This is their thing. Does that change your perspective? That's
No.
why. Come on. That's why I say
allow
the
it
10
to.
rounds
Yeah.
is in his favor. I think the size going into this week, I thought was in Jake's favor. He has never fought. Nathan has never fought at 185. Highest he went is 170.
Yeah.
But now I look at them up there. They're kind of the same size, right?
They're the same size. The obviously the makeup is much different.
Sure.
You can see who's been working or whatever the case may be. But I think overall, when you talk about a Nate Diaz who has never fought at 185, now you're talking about you're probably at your walking around weight.
Right.
And performing at walking around weight, any fighter can tell you is not where we want to perform. We want to perform again where we've had to be hungry, where we've had to go to sleep without eating, and we've had to really watch our nutrition and also work as well, you know. So I don't know, man. I think that it's going to be a fun fight to watch. I truly don't think it's going to go long,
Really?
but talking to you has really
Am I changing?
I'll probably be seeing some different things on the DAZN platform.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. By the way, I had Andre Ward on my show. Andre Ward has been trained. He has trained, not anymore, obviously. He has trained with the Diaz brothers in the past, and Nate in particular. And he said that Nate was one of his toughest looks as a southpaw that he ever had in sparring. That's the SOG right there.
He's a southpaw.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yes.
And he's a southpaw.
So does that? Yeah, and he's a southpaw.
Wait,
Are we starting to change your mind here?
no,
Listen, we have no dog in the
were they
race.
sparring?
Well, yeah, it was. Listen, it was a few years ago.
This is what we know about boxing. You get old overnight.
Yeah, but he's a debutante. First time.
Oh, who?
A debutante.
What the hell is a debut?
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's a rook. This is
What's
pro
a
debut.
débutante?
A debutante. It's a Francais word.
Of whom the hell?
Yeah.
What?
You've never heard of that word?
No.
Like debut?
Yeah. So
Is a-
that's the full word.
That's the
And
first.
It's a French word.
Yeah, it's a French
Never
word.
knew that.
I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
So I speak French.
Yeah.
Pas français.
Yeah.
You know that?
See.
Yeah. There was supposed to be a big fight in Quebec City. What a stretch in boxing. Huh? We were supposed to have Beterbiev fighting Smith, but he got, I don't know, something wrong with his teeth. You heard about this?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he's the man.
Wow. So that fight was about to happen too, huh?
August 19th.
Wow.
Yeah, man, we're on a crate. Next week on DAZN, Dillian White against AJ.
Yeah.
And we got Canelo coming up September 30th. This has been one of the best years for boxing in quite some time. Would you agree?
I would agree. I think that boxing, I think that this is a true wave. I don't think this is a 2023, we got all we want.
One-off.
This is going to continue on, man. This is the new wave for boxing.
What changed?
I think the timing.
What do you mean?
Timing has become perfect for boxing, where a lot of guys are reaching this level at the same time, Whereas before you had guys, so I call them quads. Every Olympic year, every 4 years, you have a quad. You get a plethora of fighters who are going to become champions. And it's going to take them upwards to 6 to 8 years to get into that title contention world. And I think that now we've come into a wave that's going to continue where guys are around the same age, are doing the same things around the same time, and this wave is going to continue.
You know who's to thank for this wave that you're speaking of?
I think me.
Okay. I was going to say Jake Paul.
Oh, I thought
Jake Paul made it
you were
happen.
gonna say Showtime.
No, and listen, you're a part of it as well. But, you
Yeah.
know, Jake, he says he's infused some life into boxing.
Yeah.
You know, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Okay.
Respectfully, I know he's paying my bill. You know, he's
Well, the zone is.
meeting my quota. But no, I do think that this is not his doing. I think that this is just, again, this is where the timing of boxing has gotten us, you know?
You know who may deserve a thank you? Tell me if you think otherwise, and I don't know how much you pay attention, but the sport of mixed martial arts. The way the sport is structured, we're getting the big fights, and there's no dancing around, and there's no networks, and it's usually, you know, the UFC is the top league, and everyone fights everyone, for the most part.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that boxing looked and said, hey, look at how well they're doing? No. Okay.
Take a look at, let's be honest,
Yeah.
take a look at boxing. Has boxing changed in the last 20 years?
But now we're seeing, like, more co-promotions, undisputed championship fights.
Because the fighters are the ones to thank.
They're making it happen.
Fighters are the ones
Good.
to thank.
Good.
Take a look at Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Errol was told, move on. We don't need this fight. You don't need this fight. Move on. And he said, no, this is the one I want. You know, he forced that fight. When I fought Terence Crawford, everyone's telling me to move on. I'm like, ain't nobody else I want to fight. You know, you take a look at Ryan Garcia. He really forced the hand of Golden Boy to make that fight happen. You know, and I think that wave is going to continue. These fighters are realizing if I say something, I can actually get what I want. If I say I'm not going to do anything else, and that's what's happening. The fighters are the ones to thank.
Who does Terrence fight next?
I don't know. You know, he was chirping at Jamel Charlo during the fight.
Yes, that was amazing.
Sexy.
Yeah.
That was
sexy?
I mean, everything about Terence Crawford was sexy that week.
Were you blown away?
Absolutely.
Were you expecting that?
I really wouldn't say I was expecting that. Surprised, not surprised, but certainly not expecting it. But I know Terence in and out of the ring, so no surprise at all.
If you were advising Errol Spence, would you go after the rematch now, or is that a mistake?
Depends. You know, if I'm advising Spence and I'm in his camp and I know everything that's going on, number one thing I need to know is how healthy is he? How healthy is he going to be? Is his life in jeopardy? And be honest. And I'd get multiple medical opinions, not just one doctor that he's been seeing his whole life. I get multiple because I think in this instance it's gonna take multiple in order for them to make a determination. After that, I would definitely entertain the rematch. Because, like I like to say, a lot of fighters that don't figure out all of those answers on fight night, you get a chance to go back to the gym, you get 8 weeks to figure out all those questions, you come back to the ring different, and you could do something different in the rematch.
How much do you attribute his performance to the car accident and the retina surgery?
I don't know, man. I'm hearing now that, you know, there is residue from that accident. No surprise. I mean, that's what we expect, you know. But after he had 2 fights, 2 successful wins, one really gritty, hard win that he had to really pull out some things and do it. He got that win against Ugas.
Right.
That kind of convinced me that he was ready. So, I don't know.
Okay, 2 last ones for you. Who wins? The 2023 version of Terence Crawford, or let's say the 2012 version of Floyd Mayweather? And don't sit on the fence, Shawn Porter. Don't sit on the fence. What do you mean you don't know? You know. You know.
Don't whisper to me.
That makes it
You've been
more,
whispering this whole show.
That makes it, that's my.
You know.
Yeah, come on. I'm not a loud guy.
I don't know. I think you got to go back further than 2012.
Okay, fine. What do you want to say? 2009?
I don't know. When do you even say Floyd is in his prime?
Yeah, I don't know.
When do you say Floyd was in his prime?
When he fought, is De La Hoya just a little bit before the prime? Is Canelo the prime?
He still was in his prime.
Right.
But he was really like genuinely in his prime back in the day when he fought guys like Castillo and guys like that. He really was in his prime even back then. You know.
So you're gonna sit on the fence, huh?
I don't know, man.
All right.
That is a 50-50 fight.
Tell us what your podcast is. What is it called?
The Porter Way Podcast.
It's good stuff.
We
I
talk.
was listening to a lot of it leading up to the Spence Crawford fight.
It's boxing from a professional fighter's perspective, and of course that entertaining, fun twist. I love to have fun, and my co-host he loves to have fun, and then anyone we bring in, man, the number one thing. And when I bring on guests, I tell them, yo, this is loose conversation. We're just here to have fun. Don't tighten up and expect Q&A.
Yeah.
We're going to be all over the place, but at the end of the day, we're going to get somewhere.
I love it. I love it. It's an honor to work with you. I look forward to it tomorrow night. This man, Shawn Porter, is going to be a part of the broadcast on DAZN alongside many luminaries, and we'll be talking to a couple of them throughout today's program, but he does a tremendous job. He knows his stuff, and I think I may have gotten him to change his pick. I think he's going with Diaz now. I feel like I convinced him.
No.
Okay.
I'm still wondering who the hell convinced you that whispering was okay.
Oh, yeah, this is the way I speak.
No, that's messed up.
You don't like that? What, you want me to talk like this? Oh, we're here in an empty arena.
Your email whispered into mine.
Yeah, and that's why
I didn't get it.
And that's why he did not respond. Shawn Porter, you're the man. Thank you so much.
Man.
Much love to you. You could just walk off.